Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again with everything going on in the world right now, the conflict in Iran and all of that good stuff. I think it'd be prudent of you to always make sure you have some type of self-defense or protection or ways to communicate, etc. with you at all times. First, let's talk about bags. I'm a big old fan of two particular brands. Matter of fact, I'm biased. And I've tried a lot of different brands, but when it comes to reliability, ease of use, I like Premier Body Armor coupled with Vertex. Now, you may like a lot of other different brands, Eberly Stock or Pelican or Brown Buffalo, Yeti, Mystery Ranch, whatever. But when it comes to just like good engineering and pairing these up, making sure that you have a bag that's capable of carrying your laptop, your tech gear, your Geek Squad stuff, but also can give you a level of CCW protection, or maybe you don't off-body CCW, but you can put armor in it. This is why I go with Vertex. I have a review on every bag that you see here. I'm just gonna briefly touch them and move on to my next area. But the first thing is, if you wanna go with something small, you can go with like the Urban Ghost. In the sling version, this thing is 10 liters. They just came out with this new rudder green color, which I think looks freaking fantastic. But Premier Body Armor does make a specific size armor that goes inside of these things. Most of these bags, you slip the armor in the very back once you open them up. And so now you have plenty of room to carry any of your self-defense gear, your gear to be able to offensive stuff if you need it, and you have a little bit of protection. Maybe you want a little bit bigger of a sling. Then we do have the Gamut series when it comes to their sling bags, and also you have the body armor that goes along with it. I like this, a little bit more of a side, get into your bag sideways. You could also go really big and really tactical. Now you have the Siege bag by Vertex. They have this in, I think, a 30 liter and a 25 liter. They have the armor that goes along with it. These are specifically designed to go with the bags themselves. I like this because if you want to go like super extreme with it, if you really want to carry your different items or whatever, you can do something like, this bag is good because you can put your gas mask in here. You can put your canteen cup in here. So this is a very, I would say probably like the least gray man type of bag, but if you don't care about that, if that's not your goal, then what does it matter, right? So it's really gonna be up to you. Big old fan of the Siege. I think that looks really, really good. Then if you're thinking about maybe not so much tactical, but probably their most, the most selling bag that they have, the Ready Pack X, this is a fantastic bag when it comes to versatility for travel and everyday carry. It also has a specific model of armor that goes along with it, which also similarly kinda also fits in the Urban Ghost. The same Premier Body Armor, I've noticed that it fits in both. This is probably gonna be the most like muted of all of those when it comes to Vertex. They do have the Any Day bag. I have that as well, but I don't have the armor for that yet. But that's what I'm gonna say. If you decide that you wanna level up your protection, the easiest way to do it like efficiently without looking like a complete renegade or anything like that is going to be with just adding armor to your bag and getting yourself a capable bag that's able to do that. If you hear banging and stuff, I'm getting my roof done today, but I thought it was very important to get this topic out because we just had another synagogue attack, another synagogue shooting here in the United States. And now it seems like we're getting a lot of like lone wolf type of stuff happening all the time. So I don't think we just need to wait if we want to talk about protecting yourself. Let's next talk about knives. This is going to be for those times where you need to have defense and offense. There's going to be times when defensively you want to have a knife with you just in case someone's coming at you so you can slash, so that you can stab and all of that good stuff, right? So if you have that ability, slashing, stabbing is very important. I would say no matter what knife you get, be prepared to possibly cut yourself, break your own fingers, and possibly have your own knife turned against you. Any of these weapons, they can be turned against you, but you're using them in the hope that that does not happen. So the first one I want to identify is going to be the Battle Goat by Montana Knife Company. I like this one particularly because it does have that ability to allow just a little bit less likelihood that your fingers slip when you're using this. You can kind of put your pinky behind here and kind of keep your fingers from slipping up the knife if you're stabbing, if you're using this in an aggressive way. It's not the best way for that, but that is why this little hook is back here to kind of prevent that accidental action from your hand slipping when you're using this knife in an aggressive way. These are from the Tactical Collection from Montana Knife Company. I think that the best way to prevent a slippage or your knife being taken from you is a ring. Now, using this ring is a very high likelihood you're gonna break your own finger, but it is a lower likelihood that your hand slips up this knife and you cut yourself. When you're stabbing someone or you're stabbing something or slashing, there's a very high likelihood that your hand slips up the blade itself. And so with that being said, a ring is gonna help prevent that. But using this, because of where your finger is in there, there is a high likelihood that you break your own finger. Is it worth it in a fist fight, or is it worth it in a fight where you possibly could be, your life is at risk? Yeah, I think it is. So that's gonna be something that you wanna think about. You can even get something from like Tor Knives. They have a lot of different options just in case you really wanna be able to just have something that has a little bit more availability than particularly the Montana Knife Company. This is CPM M4 versus those being Magna Cut. So if you're gonna use this for other stuff other than just self-defense, this one, all these are gonna be pretty decent outside. The Magna Cut's probably gonna have the best edge retention so just something to think about. Of course, a lot of times we do have our folding knives, we have all that type of stuff, but you know, just think about that nonetheless. I think you should carry a weapon with you. There are gonna be some folks who are not second A. If you're not, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're legally not allowed to carry one, I'm not really sure what your solution is going to be beyond a knife, because most of the time, even if you're a felon, you can still carry a knife, but you might not be able to carry a weapon. Sometimes you're able to carry stuff like less non-lethals, crossbows. I mean, I don't know. You got to think about that. Figure out what's legal for you. Don't listen to some guy that's on YouTube. But whatever you get, just make sure you're proficient in it. Make sure that it's something you're comfortable with. And if possible, carry it on your body every single day, or carry it in one of your CCW bags. Something that you're going to be very comfortable with. Specifically, I really like how many rounds I've been able to put down my Beretta PX4 Storm 40 caliber. This one's more outfitted exactly how I want it. I have my TLR 3X by Streamlight on here, and have the actual paddles on here exactly how I want them. I have my sights on here from Olight, or O-Sight rather. And so everything on here is exactly how I want it. Whatever you do, so I have target rounds with me right now, but whatever you do, you just wanna make sure that if you're gonna be using this for like real self-defense type stuff, try to bring yourself at least one additional magazine. So with this, I'm capable to do 12 plus 1, and then I have an additional magazine of 12. Likelihood of all that being needed, I don't know, but I feel more comfortable when I have that. It just makes a lot of sense to me, and very, very, very important to couple with your actual weapon itself is going to be a flashlight, but a flashlight that is at least, I would say at least 1500 lumens with a strobe in a ring. Now there's going to be some caveats to that, but why the heck would you care if the flashlight has a ring and it has 1500 lumens and all that type of stuff? Well, first of all, a flashlight with 1500 lumens makes it so that if you're blinding someone with the strobe, it's more effective. There are some flashlight companies that have like 800 lumen, 300 lumen, 500 lumen, and they're throwing strobe on there just for an afterthought, but it's not very effective. If someone's coming at you, they won't be disoriented as easily with that. So I'll give you a strobe warning here. This, if I come and I hit that strobe on here, this is very effective for disorienting someone versus some of the strobe lights we get from something that has like a way less, like 400 lumen. So that would be something I would say. This is the next torch. This is the TA70, a very good light to couple with a weapon. The reason I say carry a ring, maybe not with a glass breaker, those are kind of dorky. So trying to get one that doesn't have a glass breaker. But the reason I say with the ring is so when you're using this, right? If you're using this with your weapon and you're using this for purposes of being able to see what you have going on, it's important that you have the ability when this slide racks back and it's time to reload the weapon itself, you actually have the ability. It's important that you have this, let's say the last round has been depleted. You can actually, because of the ring, slide the flashlight out of your way, drop the mag, put in a brand new mag, send it home, and keep the actual flashlight in your hand. Other flashlights without the ring doesn't give you that ability to use your entire offhand. So that's why I think that's important. Of course, you may have a light on your weapon. Some people don't rock it like that, but that's why I think it's very important for you to actually carry an actual flashlight with the ring on you. It's gonna be up to you if that's something that you like. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you do. It's really gonna be something that you have to think about. So the TD70 I've been a big fan of that. It does have a duty mode, a tactical mode, and a lockout mode. And then it has this new little brother. I think it's about to release soon, which is the next torch, arc torch. It's kind of hard, a lot of names on there. This one has like a scrolling wheel, so you get used to it. This is more palmable. So you have this in the palm of your hand. When you go up, it goes through high, medium, low, and then it goes to strobe. When you go down, it goes high, medium, low, and it goes to strobe. So this one doesn't have like an on-off switch in a traditional manner. It's more of a roller switch, which is good for just being able to kind of roll your finger on that. Now, both of these have glass breakers, which are good for breaking through tempered glass windows, that type of stuff. But one thing I would say that you may want to consider as an alternative would be the Nikkor EDC29. All these, except for this flashlight, don't have removable batteries. The Arc Torch, the reason I talked about this one, because it does have a removable battery. Neither one of these two have removable batteries, but the EDC29 is giving you massive amounts of lumens, especially with that strobe mode. Give you another strobe warning. So you come here, and you can get 3,000 lumen strobe mode out of this bad boy. You can't do that ring action with this, like I just mentioned, but it's still a really good solution for you just in case you need it. Another thing I would talk about is today's video sponsor, which is Veer and their C4 Tactical Field Watch. Why the heck is a field watch or a watch important in times like now? Your smartwatch is gonna die. Your smartwatch is going to make it so that you're trackable. Your smartwatch is going to make it so that a notification could pop up, and if you're trying to shelter in place or you're trying to stay away from an active shooter, you're not going to be able to do so as effectively as others around you. So the C4 Tactical Field Watch, not only it can help you find your way out of a very precarious situation, like helping you find south if you're stuck in the woods or something like that, but with its big watch face, it's very good lume. It's going to be very, very reliable for you when you need it in a pinch, because it's going to have 6 months of reserve time with 6 hours of sunlight. I also think it looks really good to go from duty mode to out on the town mode. It's just a very good looking watch overall. I'm a big old fan of how this watch looks. You get 2 straps with this. Lockdown, screw down crown, sapphire crystal glass, 41 millimeters. And did I mention this is not going to be so you're trackable like a smartwatch? Hey, check out Veer with the links down below. Shout out to them for sponsoring today's video. I think it is a critical part of your active shooter kit, everyday carry defense kit, to wear a real watch. I reiterate that over and over, put on a real watch, because for accuracy of time, for being able to just see how long a situation has been going on, much better than a smartwatch that literally may not be able to help you out as much as this can. Let's talk about some less than non-lethals. We talked about some pretty much non-lethals, but you may want to consider some pepper gel. I primarily trust Palm, pepper gel, and Saber. Both of them have easy to read expiration dates on the front of them. They're easy to use. If you get the pepper gel, you flip your finger in here, you squeeze down, you're ready to rock and roll. If you want to, you can get the covers for these pepper gels. Condor makes some covers that you can buy, and you can actually outfit these onto different bags or whatever you want to do, or you can just rock these naked. So however you want to rock it, I think it's important that you kind of just have your safe available with some less lethal. Pepper gel versus pepper spray. Pepper gel is better for spraying out of your car window. It's less likely to fall back into your cabin. It's still going to fall back some, but less likely. It's also better if you're in close combat with somebody. Pepper gel, a little bit more targeted versus pepper spray, which plumes into the air. Hey, at the end of the day, like a knife fight, with a pepper gel fight, you're still gonna get some blowback on yourself, but at least you do have something that may be able to prevent that a little bit. If you're wearing some high quality, you want some glasses which are literally construction approved. So you want some high quality glasses, which are, if you were to get with like any type of pieces of someone shooting, or if a door is broken or whatever, these things can take a hit. These are literally approved to be worn by construction workers. They look really good. They're sunglasses. You can also get them where they're not sunglasses, but the reason you wear something like this, so if you're shooting, if you're using pepper gel, less likelihood of getting in your eyes. Of course, it still can get around and get in there, But just having something that's gonna not only give you UV protection, but also give you protection from firing projectiles and stuff like that, I think super duper important. And also kind of prevents if you take a punch to the face or fingers to the face, fingers to the eye, gives you a little bit more protection on top of that. Tor Knives just came out with the hard, I think it's called the hard point, but this is their version of a pry bar, but it's really designed for like fighting purposes, okay? It has a very sharp, fine tip on there. And so this thing will do damage if you use it in a stabbing way, a scraping way, whatever. And this is almost doesn't look like a knife. So a lot of times this gets through security. I'm not telling you to take this through security, okay? Follow your local laws. I'm just telling you my experiences with it. So that's something that you can consider as well, just in case you have to be naughty. I normally will have a Zippo in my pocket because I smoke cigars and it's almost always charged. I'm always checking to see how much butane I have in my butane insert. I don't use Zippo fuel, but I have a butane insert. But just in case you don't have that, in a survival kit, you can get yourself, you can put it like a ferro rod. So if need be, you can throw some sparks, try to get a fire started. That's way harder to do than just having a lighter. Maybe not a Zippo though. You might want to get a Bic lighter. Couple of reasons. Bic lighters are easy to fit in your hand. If you get in a fist fight with a Bic lighter, if you put it in your hand, it's less likely you break your own fingers, and it actually deals bigger hit points, I guess, for the opponent that you're going up against. You can do the same thing with a Zippo. It's just not as effective as putting a Bic lighter in the palm of your hand. That's why I also like to carry this little pry bar, because in the palm of my hand, it does strengthen my fist, and then I can still use it for fighting purposes. The reason I like the Vertex bags is because if it really goes down and it becomes very extreme, I can go with a 300 blackout. This one particularly I like because it does have the ability to fold up. It fits in every single one of those bags except for the sling bags. It doesn't fit in those. But every single one of those backpacks that you just saw, this DDM4 300 blackout fits in there very easily. Even with my light, the optic I have on here, the folding buttstock does make it so that it fits inside of those bags. So if I want to come out and go heavier, if I want to be able to effectuate rounds further down range, this is normally the way that I go with that. But it's going to be really up to you, because this is something you might not be able to carry in your state, and it may not be something that you can keep with you at all times. So you really have to check your local laws and see if you're even allowed to carry stuff like that. But the biggest thing for you is also ensuring that you have a fully charged phone so you can call 911, call authorities. Help may get there within 57 seconds, like Austin, Texas, but within 57 seconds, he took a few lives. So I don't want to depend on help getting there for me. I want to be able to help myself. That's why I carry the stuff that I do, but it's really going to be up to you. Hashtag bars. Listen, everything going on in the world, let me know some additional stuff that you carry. Maybe you're very extreme and you carry something like a plate carrier with heavy duty sappy plates like I do in my truck, right? But I don't even want to have to suggest that to you, because you're going to start thinking I'm a crazy guy, because you already see my gas mask, plate carriers. I didn't even talk about my ballistic helmet that's fully stocked out. It probably runs around $3,000. How much crap is on there? But what do you carry? What do you rock? And what do you like? First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my great. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.